So, this is my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Whatnot. I took some time out of my schedule to look at the movie, and it's been getting drubbed by critics and whatnot. And like regular critics that kiss the ass, they high five a bunch of trash, all year long. They're totally unreliable critics, but we're supposed to say they're critics, and they got a shitty score on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't know why. I watched it, and I didn't think anything was really that wrong with it. It was just standard. It was a standard Marvel movie. All right. So I watched it. I knew what to expect. I had low expectations. It's not because of the prior two Ant-Man movies. You know. And just for the record, I didn't like the second Ant-Man movie. I didn't like that fucking movie. But I don't have a problem with anybody in the cast or anything. All right. Now I don't understand why they drubbed the fuck out of this movie. I guess they didn't push their narrative, like they wanted. It's a regular movie. Dare I say, I hate to use the dreaded words, the movie is not woke. Okay, it's not woke. That means when I say woke, I don't mean like woke like in the black community. I mean woke like how everybody else, especially the white community, uses that term. How they apply that term with a negative slant. It's not woke. There is some awkward, cringy dialogue in it in certain places. It's very brief, and I know that whoever made the movie was forced to put that shit in there because of the agenda and everything. So I overlooked it and whatnot, and I enjoyed the movie. Okay. And I want to say why I watched the movie because I'm waiting for Marvel to just completely go into the toilet and just shit itself. I'm waiting for it to have terminal. It has terminal cancer as far as I'm concerned. The whole brand, it's all fucked up. And I have my reasons for feeling that way. But the reason that I went to watch the movie was for Jonathan Majors playing the villain. The villain is King the Conqueror. All right, and he's a brother. He has a massive armada, not an army. He has an armada. He has an armada of shit ready to go and fuck it up. Okay, he's in the quantum realm and he's trying to get the fuck out of there. Okay, he's unapologetic and I say he's charismatic and shit. He's a return to an actual villain and whatnot. Okay, and I feel a certain way about the brother because I'm black and he's black. I felt good seeing King the Conqueror, in charge. He got stranded down there, and he made it his own. He looked around. He knew he wasn't getting out of there, so he created a kingdom down there, an empire actually, and he was policing that shit actively, 24/7 and shit. Okay, and he wanted to get the fuck out of the Quantumania. I mean, out of the quantum realm. For those in the know who don't watch this kind of shit, in one of the Avengers movies, if you've been under a rock, that last one, they used Ant Man's technology to shrink down into a microscopic universe. Sorry for the nerd talk. Uh, they used that to shrink down and navigate through time itself to turn the tide and save the day in the last good Avengers movie. And this movie is set in that realm. So it's kind of hilarious and shit because things being what they are in our society, they still have taboos related to certain mores, social and otherwise. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like one of the characters in the movie, the one played by Michelle Pfeiffer, the original Wasp, the Janet Van Dyne. She had spent 30 or 40 years down there, in there, and she had lived a whole life and went through a bunch of shit. But like what they danced around was that, like she probably had a relationship with this brother. She probably had some kind of physical relationship with him while they were trying to. Basically, they were working to get out of the quantum realm together, and they grew real close. And then she found out who he was and betrayed him and left him down there. So he's fucking pissed and he wants to get out of there and he wants to fuck it up when he gets out. It's cool, I guess you could kind of consider this a minor spoilers and shit. But I love like when she realizes who he is, who he truly is, that he's a king and an emperor and a conqueror, not a warlord. They were saying warlord, but no, this guy's it's like an emperor. She asked him, he said, hey, no matter what you know about me, I'm still going to keep my promise. I'm going to bring you back to your little girl. I control time. I can make it as if you've never left your child. And you can be delivered to your child as if you never left and lived that life that you want to live. I can make that happen for you. And she's like, what will you do? And he looked at her dead in her face and he told her, I'm going to win. And that was too much for the white lady. So she trapped him down there. And he was fucking pissed. He was hot, man. He wasn't the villain that Michael B. Jordan played in Black Panther. This was a very methodical, calculating, a very imposing presence. He's felt even when you don't see him. And then when you do see him, you know you're in trouble, you know? And what made it even better was the fact that not only was he that a thinking villain, but he was a physical threat as well. He was a physical threat. This guy was fully a king and an emperor shit. You know, I dare say, like, to me and shit, you know, a role model. A fucking role model and shit. I enjoyed this movie, okay? I won't go any further about it. You know, they saved the day and all that bullshit. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll stay purposely vague and shit. You know, if you're inclined to just believe the reviews of the movie, you know, then do so. You know, I feel bad, but just them shitting on it would be enough to make me actually watch the fucking thing. And I watched it, you know, I've seen things much worse that Marvel has put out in the past and other studios as well that was given a pass by the same critics. So the word means shit to me. The reviews are, you know, applicable to toilet paper, right? For me, Jonathan Majors made the movie. There wasn't really real bad actors in the film, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I wanted to shit on Catherine Newton, but she did her job admirably. You know, she plays Ant-Man's daughter. And you know, Paul Rudd is good. He does his thing. He knows who he is. He knows the character. He originated the fucking character. He's the character. And I feel kind of bad for the Wasp character. You know, the one played by Evangeline Lilly. They never give her anything to do in this universe. And I wonder why that is and why not. Some people have suggested it's because of her politics, which goes against the grain, you know, what they're doing in mainstream Hollywood. So maybe that's why she gets marginalized a lot, but she seems to be holding on by the fingertips. You know, and I feel bad she don't really get anything to do in this movie, but for me, the main attraction was seeing the goddamn villain. This guy was literally like, if they, I can see this guy playing Doctor Doom. This guy was not no one to fuck with. The minute you saw him, you knew you were in trouble. You knew you were in trouble with shit. Okay, that's a good villain. You know, his presence, like dare I say, uh, would be about 2 or 3 shades lighter than when Tom Hardy played Bane in those Christopher Nolan movies. You know, it's that same level of menace that you feel, but without the overt physicality that when Tom Hardy played his character. You know, Jonathan Majors is his the danger of him, the constant sense of oppression, and you know how he takes over a room when he's in it, not even talking, not even fucking talking, is comparable. Okay, it's just that he's more of a cerebral villain. So when he got physical, it was like shit. This guy could beat your ass. He has all of this. He has an armada. He has all this shit going on, and he can beat your ass too. He can go street if he has to. You know what I mean? They didn't show him like it wasn't like wild punches and everything. This guy fought like a thinking villain. You know what I mean? He was hitting. He was beating up Scott Lang. He was hitting him in the kidney and hitting him like hitting pressure points on him. And then he just lost his shit and he finally like got pissed off because he thought he was going to be left. He felt it felt as if he would be left behind again and shit. And you kind of saw the emotion come out right at the nadir of his this presentation of the character. And much has been made about the character of MODOK. It's really that character in name only. It's like basically, for people that don't know who I'm talking about, this character of MODOK is in the film. It's a giant floating head, okay, and it's presented out of context. That's probably, they could have done better with that head, but it was there for comedic relief. And I can overlook that head in some of the shitty, supposedly, quotation marks, in said woke dialogue. There's shit in there, like dialogue, just, it's very brief. And I don't know why people made such a big deal out of it, but like most of the shields and the mouth breathers are going to tell you that this movie is utter trash. And it's not. It's entertaining. Okay, what more could I ask for? from Disney of all places and shit, okay? And you've seen any of the conduct that have been on their streaming service, you know how fucked up it can get. And to that end, I say Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, gets 3 stars from me out of 5.